Well, hey everybody, it's Sandy, and welcome back to my channel dedicated to helping you advocate for your own health one topic at a time. So today I'm doing a quick review on the copper compression mask. I know that I said if I had anything to say about it, I really wanted to do the Living Guard next, but shipping is just so unpredictable these days, and the copper compression one, which was a request from one of the viewers, that one just came in really quickly and I had ample time to try it out, so I thought that I would do that one today. So yeah, it's a mask by Copper Compression. This is a company that some people might be familiar with it if you think about it. They make all kinds of compression devices for like sports injuries and whatnot. So like knee braces, back, belts and wrist, all these compression devices. So I guess like everybody else, they have now decided that they're going to get in the business of making masks, and who can blame them? They boast that the copper technology, everybody knows that copper has antimicrobial qualities. And, for example, if surfaces like in hospitals were pure copper instead of like stainless steel, and, we know that the COVID virus and other viruses as well wouldn't last very long on them. I think it's like a few hours. But anyway, so they do market this as, a copper infused device and face mask. So first of all, these retail for, this is a pack of two. They only come in a pack of two for $22. So it's obviously a very affordable, very attractive price point. And that's why I felt really inclined to just go ahead and review this for the person who asked. So each mask is $11. They come in black, white, and gray. Now, I wanted the gray one, but they were out of it. I don't know if this is like a long-term thing, but so I chose the white. They come in a little plastic pack inside the box. And the first thing I did notice is there's a little sticker in there. It's a little piece of paper in there with all kinds of writing in Chinese. And yes, so it turns out the mask is made in China. I personally don't feel that's in the plus column, but you open it up and it's a very nice, it's a soft feeling mask, and it's different from other masks in that even though it's soft, it sort of has some structure to it, right? It doesn't like flop. It's not real flimsy, so it has this structure. The top is where it has this nose piece. The nose piece is nice and long, so you have a lot of leverage on it, and it does have a nice angle here where this tucks underneath the chin. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Now, this is a 4-layer mask. So the mask is made on the outside of what they say is copper infused cotton. Then there is a high efficiency filter, which I'm told is polypropylene. There is a filter lining, and then the part right next to the face is just 100% cotton. The first thing I noticed after the Chinese was that it had different washing instructions that came with it than they had on their website. So what it said on the website is that you can't machine wash it, that you do have to hand wash it, and they say to just soak it in hot water, and they say about 86 degrees for about 5 minutes and gently squeeze to get the water through all the layers, no wringing or harsh agitating, and then just let it air dry, and they say let it dry flat in a clean, dry, well-ventilated place. Well, when I got the package itself, the directions inside of the package said that it needs to be cleaned with 80 to 90 degree purified water or distilled water. Okay, that's not the end of the world, but first of all, to my mind, it's not in the plus column when I have to hand wash a mask anyway. One of the things I do really factor in when I'm thinking about these masks and what I would recommend is, besides the materials that are in them, what's the hassle factor involved? So the fact that you have to hand wash this every time you use it, I think is not really in the plus column. Now, they don't say every time you use it, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. This one I would probably wash every time I used it until I see more testing. But when you have to hand wash it, rock it like a baby, it needs all these extra things, and then you're going to add the added hassle factor and expense of having to have distilled water and purified water and either or, and that's probably going to be about 12 ounces of water to just soak this and gently be able to squeeze it and let it really just soak. So I was a little disappointed. I think the instructions on the website should definitely reflect the instructions that come in the package when you actually receive the mask. That said, I do like the way it fits. Now, this one has these adjusters on the ear loops, and they're kind of nice. They just slide. There's nothing to press. Like I said, there's nothing that's hard plastic, so it's like a nice squishy kind of a rubbery feel. But the loop itself, I think I showed that in the Stark mask. I like that I could put this adjuster anywhere along anywhere along this loop of fabric that I wanted. So I could move it so the adjuster was way down here if I didn't want it to be touching the back of my ears. But these loops, this loop of fabric has kind of an end sewn on it. I'm going to try to get a good close-up of that. It has this little end sewn on it, so the adjuster can't go past that. Okay, so there's really no way for me to adjust this, that this adjuster is not going to be somewhere behind my ears. That said, it really didn't bother me so much. It's pretty flat, and like I said, it's kind of a soft material. It didn't seem to bother me. I can't say I wore it all that long. I really did like the shape of this mask. I like that it has this out pouching because it gives you some room where it's not like right up against your mouth. And I think that added reservoir is just a nice comfort feature. The ear loops adjust pretty well. It does stay down pretty nicely. It is a very nice, it's a very cool feeling. Okay, it does kind of remind me of the Synovia. It feels really cool. It's, you know, the scent is fresh. I did go ahead and do my water resistance testing, just like I have with some of the other masks I've shown you. Unless a mask has some superb antimicrobial technology in it, I think it needs to at least repel the wetness of any respiratory droplets. So I went ahead and did this test, and I was kind of, I wonder if you can see that on camera. I was a little bit disappointed there. That just soaks right in. And I did contact a company, and they said, yeah, it's not even meant to be water resistant. I thought maybe this was an error or something. I had a faulty mask. So it is 100% cotton that will soak right in. So I did go ahead and ask them, well, what about the testing that you've done? They did a lot of testing on the filter itself. So they tell me that the filter will filter 95 to 99% of particles at the 0.5. It's a 0.5 micron filter. So 95 to 99% of small particles. I have no doubt that they tested the filter itself, but that's not the same thing as testing it with the mask. I know I've gone over this before, so I don't want to be too redundant, but for those of you who haven't tuned into my videos before, I will refer you back to some of my other videos on masks and filters in general, which is that a lot of what gets filtered has to do with how the mask fits. And the smaller the particle size that the filter is meant to filter out, actually the more you're going to be forcing air around and you're going to be creating leakage. So I'm not sure exactly where the sweet spot is, but I don't get all enamored with really overly ambitious filter sizes. But okay, so a half a micron filter, that's fine. But I did press them some more for any testing on the antimicrobial claims, and they kept kind of answering me, you know, talking about the filtration. But I think that, you know, this is kind of marketed as copper technology, and I think that if you're going to say that your mask is antimicrobial, then you really ought to be able to show that. And they said no, they just provided me with some research that shows that copper in itself is antimicrobial, but that they didn't do any testing on the mask itself. And I was a little disappointed with that. I kind of don't think that they should be making those claims, because those are, you know, that's an ambitious, very attractive claim to say that this is antimicrobial. And I think that if that testing hasn't been done, I really believe strongly that I would not want to wear it, given that the outside is not water resistant, at least. So otherwise I would say, yeah, I like there's polypropylene in this mask, and if it were water resistant on the outside, I'd say it's probably, you know, as good as any other mask. But given all that, that is why I would really recommend, if you have this, I would recommend you have 2 or 3 of them. And if I were using this as my primary mask, which I'm not going to, I would be washing it every single time I use it, leaving it to dry. So there we go with the hassle factor of having distilled water, purified water, and hand washing only. I guess in the long run, I can't recommend this mask. So I do normally have a really strong vetting process. They were very transparent in answering a lot of my questions, but it just so happened that when I got the actual mask, like I said, some of the literature on the inside didn't really match, you know, what it had said on their website. They do have a satisfaction guarantee, so these are refundable, they're returnable. I probably am just going to go ahead and return it. Let me know if one of you guys knows something else about it, more about it, whether you've had a different experience with it. It was a real shame, because I really love the physical design of this mask. I think it's nice that it's so thin, and that yet it still has that structure to it where it's not flimsy. I thought that was a really great idea, but I just can't, you know, I can't allow myself to fall in love with that and then use something that I think is at a minimum probably substandard just given the lack of water resistance on the outside. If they did more testing, I would love to, I'd revisit the topic if I, were to learn that this actually has a profoundly antimicrobial quality to, on the outside on that copper layer. I think that would be great. I think it would behoove everybody if we got some testing on that. But until then, I can't, I can't really recommend it. I want to say thank you again for all the suggestions. I look at every single one of them. I'm like buried in masks right now, but I do look at every single one of them, and I do some vetting, and I'm picky about what I will buy because, as you guys know, or some of you who don't, I don't do any affiliate links on my channel because I want my information to be trustworthy and unbiased. So I'm real picky about what I'll shell out and then buy to try for you guys. But that said, I try to do anything that looks like it would be a really good find that I think is reasonable. So please keep the suggestions and the comments and the questions and the feedback coming. I just love it. I'm really having fun with it. I want to say welcome. I see I have a few new subscribers since the last time. Of course, I am trying to grow my channel, so I so appreciate anybody sharing the content with anybody that you think might find it helpful. Let me know if this was helpful, and until next time, be well. Bye-bye.